Hello, I'm Sarah. Welcome to my channel TaylorMade by Sarah. And here is the first in my patterned paper series, which will hopefully give you a few ideas of how to use up your patterned paper stash. I've got a couple of 6x6 books here from Basic Grey, the Knee Highs and RSVP range, and an A4 set from Hunkydory from their adorable scoreable range in a variety of different patterns and colours. I'm then going to be using a couple of die sets from Sizzix. In today's video I'm using the Katie Skilton Under the Sea set, and then the Tim Holtz Wildflower set I will actually be using in a separate video, so please do take a look at that video if you'd like to see what cards I made using these pattern papers with those particular dies. So once I've chosen them, I've just run them through my die cutting machine. And I wanted a background that coordinated nicely with the waves. So I've chosen this nice duck egg blue from another adorable scoreable collection, the Essential Colourways. And to give the background a bit more texture, I've used this stencil which is from Crafter's Companion. And I'd like it to sort of look like bubbles to continue the water theme. And to do that, I'm going to add some texture paste. I want the colour underneath to show through, so this is the transparent matte texture paste, but you can get all sorts of colours and different finishes with your texture pastes. So I'm just slathering this on with my palette knife. I don't particularly want a sort of nice polished finish, so just scraping up the excess, and I'm not too worried if it doesn't look perfect at all because it's supposed to be sea themed. So I'm just eyeing everything up. Some of the dies do have some features which are punched all the way through, so just adding some background colour to make the features really pop out, and also just to make sure that the background card doesn't show through them. And then just measuring it up. The card will be the width of the waves, so just taking a little bit off either side just to tidy it up after the stenciling with the texture paste. And then I'll be gluing everything down with my Nuvo glue, which I use for most things. Because of the sheen on the cardstock, it did take a little bit longer than normal, and did need to press down a bit to make sure there was good contact before it would sort of stick thoroughly. And then after I stuck down the sort of back waves, I thought it might be quite nice to have the front ones just popped up on some foam tape just to give it a bit more dimension. So just gluing the top two together and then eyeing up and measuring up for some foam tape, and then just trimming to size and attaching that. And then continuing to sort of glue everything down. And I did want the whale to stand out a bit as well. I think that's the main sort of character of the card. And just using a few tiny foam squares and cutting them up even more just to support the tail in case it goes through the post. I don't want it getting crushed. And then once again just putting a bit of silver cardstock behind the fish for his eye, just to make sure that that shines through. And then obviously I've made this quite a non-standard sized card, so I did need to make my own card base for it. So just measuring that up and using my score tool to get that to match perfectly, and then just trimming off the excess with my Tim Holtz trimmer. And then just gluing the whole panel on with plenty of glue. It's quite thick card, and there's a lot going on, so just making sure that's done. Then just adding a few gems. These are water droplet gems, but they are supposed to represent air bubbles for the fish and the whale. And then off screen I did feel like it was missing a sentiment or missing something in that top left corner, so I just heat embossed with white embossing powder this See You Soon stamp, which I think is from Waffle Flower. I'm not sure which collection it is, and then just sort of trimming it all up. So there you have it. I hope you like the fun card and it's given you a few ideas of how to use up some of your pattern paper. If you do like the video, please like and subscribe and follow future videos. Thank you.